The California legislature passed the landmark California Environmental Quality Act, or CEQA, in 1970 to ensure that all development projects wouldn't leave a damaging carbon footprint. But 40 years later, some building developers and environmentalists still have issues with CEQA. When the law passed, many environmental groups heralded it as a monumental act that would force developers to keep the environment in mind when drafting building plans.
Yes, I do think it has been successful in really changing the mentality of state and local agencies. So there's not a state or local government official out there who ever does anything that would touch the environment that doesn't know something about CEQA and the way it works.
Developers say they acknowledge the environmental protection that CEQA provides, but at what financial cost?
The costs of environmental documents are, at this point, easily hundreds of thousands of dollars, and more often than not, $1 million or $2 million on a large project. The problems in the system are endemic, so you see them in every situation.
The Environmental Impact Report, or EIR, is the main component of CEQA, which serves as proof that developers have analyzed the potential impact of the project. In Menlo Park, the Bohannon Development Company is constructing the Menlo Gateway project, but Tosta says that the Bohannon Development Company has been in the review process for 2.5 years.
The end result is you have the environmental review process, which was intended to create valuable information, going into enormous levels of trivia, and becoming the vehicle by which projects are denied, not because of their environmental impacts, but because the process itself is not very efficient.
Back in 2007, multi-billion-dollar development company Majestic Realty drafted plans to build a football stadium in the City of Industry to entice a football franchise to come to Los Angeles. The company's vice president, John Semkin, said that 87 of 88 cities in Southern California were in favor of the stadium, except for the city of Walnut.
Their argument had nothing to do with the environment. Their argument was extortion. If they were seen as the heroes who objected to the big, nasty developer, we went up to Sacramento because we only had one choice left, which was to get a bill passed to override because they refused to meet. They were completely taking advantage of CEQA.
Of its own. So talk about creating jobs. So once CEQA really got rolling, a huge industry developed of environmental consulting firms who do this kind of, to put these EIRs together for agencies.
But even environmentalists are concerned about the gaping holes in CEQA, they said.
The new CEQA actually says that you have to take the economic interest into account, and you have to add up all the negative benefits and then balance them against the economic benefits. And it'll say this project is going to cause problems by impacting the air quality, but there's nothing we can do about it.
So is try and return it to a reporting system that deals with environmental issues as opposed to political agendas, and I don't know how soon that will come about. The fiscal situation of the communities is untenable. And they realize at some point their population is going to stand up and say, I've had it with 10 years of no street pavement, or I want those sidewalks fixed.
But environmental policymakers and analysts see CEQA as a successful balance between the two parties.
I think slowing down isn't necessarily a bad thing. So it plays that kind of transparency and public participation role. And I think that's actually a good thing. So developers don't like it because it doesn't always it's not the quickest route for them. I think it becomes even more critical today as we face the potential consequences of climate change. CEQA and statutes like that really take a long-term perspective of the environment. Most of the impacts that we're talking about are irreversible in some sense. So I think as a public policy matter, we do not want to be making short-term decisions, short-sighted decisions that may have long-term impacts.
While both sides have their respective issues with CEQA, it's a law that has raised awareness about environmental protection in a time when climate change is rapidly occurring. This has been Stacie Chan reporting for the Silicon Valley Pulse.